The new cause of vitamin D deficiency has been discovered. Have you ever wondered why so many people today suffer from vitamin D deficiency, even those who spend time outdoors, eat healthy food, and take supplements? Doctors around the world are now facing a puzzling situation. Blood tests show that millions of people have low vitamin D levels, and not just slightly low, dangerously low. But here is the strange part. Some of these people live in sunny countries, some go outside every day, some even take vitamin D supplements regularly. So why is this happening? What if the real reason for vitamin D deficiency has nothing to do with sunlight at all? Before we continue, write in the comments, do you take vitamin D supplements? Yes or no? And if you care about your health and want to understand the hidden causes of modern diseases, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Here we talk about things that many doctors still don't explain. Now let's get back to vitamin D. For years we were told something very simple. Low vitamin D happens because you don't get enough sun, you don't eat enough fatty fish, you don't take supplements. But recent research is starting to show something much deeper. Many scientists now believe that the modern lifestyle itself may be blocking vitamin D in our bodies. Not just reducing it, blocking it, even if you get enough sunlight, even if you take supplements, even if your diet looks healthy. And the main suspect behind this hidden problem may surprise you. It's not your skin, it's not the sun, it's not even your diet. It may be something happening inside your metabolism. You see, vitamin D is not just a vitamin, it actually behaves more like a hormone. Once sunlight hits your skin, your body starts a complex chain reaction. First, the skin produces a precursor of vitamin D, then the liver transforms it, then the kidneys activate it. Only after these steps does vitamin D become usable by your body. This active form controls hundreds of processes. It helps regulate immune function, bone strength hormone, balance inflammation, mood and brain health metabolism. That's why low vitamin D has been linked to many modern problems, including fatigue, weak bones, frequent infections, depression, weight gain, chronic inflammation, autoimmune diseases. But here is where the new discovery becomes interesting. Researchers have recently started to notice that many people do produce vitamin D, but their body cannot properly activate or use it. And this may be the real reason deficiency is rising worldwide. Something is interfering with the vitamin D activation process, and in many cases, the problem begins in a place most people never suspect. Your gut. Yes, your digestive system may be silently sabotaging your vitamin D levels, even if you spend time in the sun, even if you take supplements, even if your blood test once showed normal levels. In the next part, we will talk about the surprising connection between gut health and vitamin D deficiency, and why modern diets may be creating a silent epidemic that many doctors are only beginning to understand. And what you will learn may completely change the way you think about vitamin D. The hidden link between gut health and vitamin D. In the first part, we talked about something surprising. Many people today are not lacking vitamin D because of the sun. They are lacking it because their bodies cannot properly use it. And one of the biggest hidden reasons may be the health of your gut. Your gut is not just a place where food is digested. It is actually one of the most complex systems in your entire body. Inside your digestive system live trillions of microorganisms, bacteria that help regulate metabolism, immune function, hormone balance, and even brain health. Scientists now call this ecosystem the gut microbiome. And new research is revealing something fascinating. Your gut microbiome plays a critical role in how your body absorbs and activates vitamin D. When the gut is healthy, vitamin D is absorbed efficiently and transported through the body where it can be converted into its active form. But when the gut is damaged, inflamed, or imbalanced, this process begins to break down. And unfortunately, modern life is doing everything possible to damage the gut. One of the biggest problems is highly processed food. Ultra-processed foods contain chemicals, preservatives, artificial sweeteners, and refined oils that can disrupt the balance of gut bacteria. Instead of supporting healthy microbes, these foods feed harmful bacteria that create inflammation in the digestive tract. Another major factor is excessive sugar. Too much sugar encourages the growth of harmful microorganisms like yeast and certain inflammatory bacteria. Over time, this can damage the intestinal lining, the delicate barrier that controls what enters your bloodstream. When this barrier becomes compromised, a condition sometimes called leaky gut may develop. Tiny gaps form in the intestinal wall, allowing unwanted particles and toxins to enter the bloodstream. This triggers inflammation throughout the body, and inflammation interferes with many metabolic processes, including vitamin D activation. But the problem doesn't stop there. Many people today also take medications that disrupt gut health. Antibiotics, for example, can destroy large portions of beneficial gut bacteria. While antibiotics are sometimes necessary, repeated use can leave the microbiome severely depleted. Other medications like acid-reducing drugs and certain pain relievers may also alter the gut environment. Even chronic stress plays a role. When the body is under constant stress, digestive function slows down. Blood flow is redirected away from the digestive organs, and beneficial bacteria struggle to thrive. Over time, the gut ecosystem becomes less diverse and less resilient. And when the microbiome becomes imbalanced, many nutrients begin to suffer. Magnesium absorption decreases, calcium regulation becomes disrupted, and vitamin D metabolism may become impaired. This means that even if sunlight triggers vitamin D production in your skin, your body may struggle to properly process it. And even if you take vitamin D supplements, your body may not fully utilize them. That is why many people take vitamin D pills for months, yet their blood levels barely change. The root problem may not be the vitamin. The root problem may be the gut. But there is another modern factor that researchers are beginning to connect with vitamin D deficiency. And this one is even more surprising. It has nothing to do with food. It has nothing to do with sunlight. And it may affect nearly everyone living in modern cities. In the next part, we will talk about the modern lifestyle habits that may secretly block vitamin D inside your body, even if you think you are doing everything right. And one of these habits has become completely normal in the modern world. The modern habits that secretly block vitamin D. In the previous part, we talked about how gut health can affect vitamin D levels. But there is another important factor that researchers are now paying close attention to. Modern lifestyle. Many everyday habits that seem completely normal today may actually interfere with how our bodies produce and use vitamin D. And the first one may surprise you. Spending most of the day indoors. Humans evolved for thousands of years living mostly outside. Our ancestors worked, traveled, hunted, and rested under natural sunlight. But modern life has changed that dramatically. Today, many people wake up inside a house, drive to work in a car, spend 8 or more hours inside an office, and return home in the evening. By the time they step outside again, the sun is already setting. Even people who believe they get enough sunlight often receive only a fraction of what the body truly needs. And there is another important detail many people do not realize. Glass blocks ultraviolet B radiation, the specific type of sunlight needed for vitamin D production. This means sitting near a sunny window does not help your body produce vitamin D. The same is true inside a car. The sunlight may feel warm, but the vitamin D producing rays are largely blocked. But sunlight is not the only modern factor. Another one has become extremely common in the last few decades. Sunscreen. While sunscreen helps protect the skin from burns and long-term damage, it also blocks much of the UVB radiation responsible for vitamin D production. Studies suggest that strong sunscreen can reduce vitamin D synthesis by more than 90%. This does not mean people should avoid sunscreen entirely. but it does mean that extremely cautious sun avoidance may unintentionally contribute to vitamin D deficiency. Another habit connected to vitamin D problems is poor sleep patterns. Your body relies on circadian rhythms, natural biological cycles controlled by light and darkness. These rhythms influence hormone production, metabolism, immune activity, and even how nutrients are processed. When sleep cycles become irregular due to late-night screen exposure or shift work, the body's internal clock becomes disrupted. This disruption can affect hormone signaling that interacts with vitamin D metabolism. Then there is another modern factor many experts now consider critical: chronic stress. When the body experiences prolonged stress, it releases higher levels of cortisol, a hormone designed to help us survive short-term danger. But when cortisol remains elevated for long periods, it creates widespread metabolic disruption. Chronic stress may weaken the immune system, increase inflammation, and interfere with the balance of other hormones that interact with vitamin D. In addition, long-term stress often leads to unhealthy habits like poor diet, lack of exercise, and irregular sleep, all of which compound the problem. And finally, there is one more factor that scientists are beginning to discuss more openly: obesity and metabolic health. Vitamin D is fat-soluble, meaning it can be stored in body fat. In people with higher body fat levels, vitamin D may become trapped in fat tissue and less available for use by the body. As a result, blood levels of active vitamin D may remain low even when total vitamin D intake appears adequate. This helps explain why vitamin D deficiency is more common in populations struggling with metabolic disorders. So when researchers look at modern society, they see a combination of factors working together: less time outdoors, gut health problems, chronic stress, sleep disruption, processed diets, metabolic imbalance. All of these elements can reduce the body's ability to produce, activate, or properly use vitamin D. But the good news is that there are practical ways to improve vitamin D levels naturally, and many of them do not require high doses of supplements. In the final part, we will talk about simple strategies that may help restore healthy vitamin D levels naturally, while also improving overall metabolic health. How to restore healthy vitamin D levels naturally. By now, you can see that vitamin D deficiency is often not just about sunlight. It is about how the entire body functions. Your gut health, lifestyle, metabolism, stress levels, and daily habits all influence whether your body can produce and use vitamin D properly. The good news is that small changes in daily habits can help restore this balance. Let's start with the most obvious factor: smart sunlight exposure. Your skin naturally produces vitamin D when exposed to ultraviolet B radiation from sunlight. For many people, short daily exposure is enough. Experts often suggest around 10 to 20 minutes of sunlight on arms and legs several times per week, depending on skin tone, geographic location, and season. Morning or late afternoon sunlight can be helpful for circadian rhythm, but the body produces the most vitamin D when the sun is higher in the sky. Of course, exposure should always be balanced to avoid sunburn. The goal is gentle exposure, not prolonged intense sun. Next comes something many people overlook: supporting gut health. Since the gut microbiome plays a major role in nutrient absorption, improving digestive health can indirectly improve vitamin D status. Foods that help support beneficial gut bacteria include fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi fiber-rich vegetables, whole grains, nuts and seeds, berries, and other plant foods rich in polyphenols. Reducing ultra-processed foods and excessive sugar may also help restore microbial balance. Another critical nutrient that works closely with vitamin D is magnesium. Magnesium helps activate vitamin D in the body. Without sufficient magnesium, vitamin D may remain inactive. Magnesium-rich foods include leafy green vegetables, avocados, pumpkin seeds, almonds, dark chocolate with high cocoa content. Then there is physical activity. Regular movement improves metabolic health, supports hormone balance, and may help regulate vitamin D metabolism. Exercise also improves circulation, allowing nutrients and hormones to travel more efficiently throughout the body. Even moderate daily movement, walking, stretching, or light strength training can support overall health. Sleep is another essential piece. Your body repairs itself during sleep, regulates hormones, and maintains metabolic balance. Poor sleep has been linked to inflammation, immune dysfunction, and hormonal disturbances that may interfere with vitamin D activity. Creating a consistent sleep schedule and reducing screen exposure before bed may help restore healthier circadian rhythms. And finally, in some cases, vitamin D supplements may still be useful. However, experts increasingly emphasize that supplements work best when combined with healthy lifestyle habits. Simply taking a pill without addressing diet, gut health, and lifestyle factors may not fully correct the problem. That is why understanding the deeper causes of vitamin D deficiency is so important. Vitamin D is not just a nutrient, it is part of a much larger system that connects sunlight, metabolism, immune function, and overall health. And when that system is supported properly, the body often becomes far more resilient. Before we finish, tell us in the comments, do you regularly check your vitamin D levels? And if you found this information useful, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. On this channel, we explore the hidden causes of modern health problems and the simple changes that can help restore balance. Because sometimes the most powerful medicine is not found in a bottle. It is found in understanding how the body truly works.